Time for Beyond God. And your host, Father McShite.
Hello and welcome back to Beyond God, the show that examines the spiritual, the social, the political, and even the parental attitudes of the world's great religious leaders. I'm your host, Father McShite, and with us today is none other than the big kahuna, the pontiff himself, Pope Benedict XVI, who prefers we refer to him as Wolfgang. Welcome back to the show, Wolfgang.
Yeah, it's good to be back. What would you like to discuss today, Father McShite?
Oh, Pope Wolfgang, today's a very special topic. We're going to discuss forgiveness.
Oh, yeah, forgiveness is one of my very, very favorite subjects to discuss of all.
Yes, we'll be discussing your new book, Forgiveness is for Sinners.
Yeah, forgiveness is for sinners.
Especially that forgiveness, according to your book, is judgment.
Yeah, that is my favorite chapter of all.
What do you mean by forgiveness as judgment?
Well, it's very simple. You have a whole Bible full of sins to go by. You have a whole culture full of sins that your community and your family has decided are sins. And you have no shortage of things that you can accuse others of before you forgive them.
Oh, I see. So you have to accuse them and judge them first.
Yeah, in order to forgive, you have to judge them, accuse them, and judge them first, and then you can forgive them.
Very interesting. Very fascinating.
Yeah. Well, you know that forgiveness is very important in societies around the world, and to religions around the world.
Yes, of course, forgiveness is one of the things that we teach as the bedrock of our religious faith.
In fact, it was the last things that Jesus said on the cross was,
Yes, forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do.
Yeah, that is true, Father McShite. And I want you all to buy my new book, Forgiveness is for Sinners, because you do not know what you're doing.
Oh, this is true. We don't know what we're doing.
some do not learn from your forgiveness.
Oh, some don't learn at all. No.
And they go to jail. Only before they go to jail, the judge even practices forgiveness and puts them on probation.
Yes, that is a form of forgiveness, isn't it?
Yeah, when you have to say to yourself, this person has broken my personal, moral, ethical, or just completely lunatic, backed out law or rule. But I will be a Christian, and I will forgive them for breaking my law.
Fascinating. Oh, my goodness. But it does sound a bit subjective, doesn't it, Pope Wolfgang?
Yeah, well, nobody said that Christians were not subjective people, Father McShite.
No, that's true. This is true.
The Catholic Church operates on their own set of laws of God, not laws of man.
Oh, yes, of course we do.
We create our own laws, separate from the laws of governments.
Oh, indeed. Fascinating.
Yeah, and that is why so many Christian families are so neurotic.
Oh, go on, Pope Wolfgang. They are so neurotic. Go on, please.
It is because they have their own set of laws and rules that are almost impossible to follow, and then they're judged by the patriarch or the matriarch. You are broken my laws, and you are a sinner and a nincompoop, and I will yell at you, and then I will forgive you. You see, forgiveness is a very conditional form of judgment. You sit and rot in jail, and while you're in jail, we'll go around and tell our friends and our congregations and people that we have forgiven you.
You mean the person, the poor relative or friend is still in jail, and you won't bail him out, but you'll talk about him and you use him to score religious points?
Yeah, we tell everybody, yeah, we're forgiving him, we're forgiving her. Then they come out of jail, but they will be discarded. They have the scarlet letter on their forehead. They will be judged forever, and you're as a sinner, and you will never be respected the same as all. and you will always be judged from that point on. But of course, we will forgive you.
Oh my goodness, fascinating, Pope Wolfgang. What if someone is falsely arrested, Pope Wolfgang, and they go to jail even just for one day?
Yeah, well, that is another chance for us to judge you. To say that even if you were wrongfully arrested, that since you were accused, you are just as guilty in the eyes of God. But we will still forgive you for being a criminal.
You see, Pope, they're only criminals if they're proven guilty in a court of law by a jury of their peers. Don't you see, all this judgment is criminal activity, Pope Wolfgang. Criminal.
Who are you calling criminal? We are Christians, and we are forgiving you, and we can judge you all we want according to our own laws. You're making me angry.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Pope Wolfgang.
Yeah, you better be careful who you call a criminal. Father McShite, I will have you booted out of the Vatican in this show. Cancel so fast.
Oh, Pope Wolfgang, take it back. We're sinners. We are. Whatever you say, Pope Wolfgang.
Yeah, that is better, Father McShite. You bet you. Your holy boots. It's whatever I say. I am the Pope.
Yes, of course you are. You're the big kahuna, the pontiff himself. Oh, my goodness. We're visiting with the pontiff himself, the big kahuna, Pope Benedict XVI, who prefers we refer to him as Wolfgang.
Yeah, it's good to be here on Beyond God and giving me a chance to be the open Pope. Yeah, it is very, very cathartic, you know. That is where they get the word cathartic, you know, from the Catholics.
Are you sure, quite sure that's where they get the word cathartic, Pope Wolfgang?
I am the Pope, Father.
Oh, yes, of course. They get the word cathartic from the Catholics.
Yeah. And so, I'm glad to be here on the program. Being the open Pope, it is very cathartic for me to share with you all the deep, dark secrets inside the Vatican. And of course, to discuss my new book.
Yes, of course. That's why we're here, to discuss your new book. Ladies and gentlemen, the Pope has just published a new book entitled Forgiveness is for Sinners. It's a fascinating look at the act of forgiveness. Chapter 1, of course, starts with Jesus being crucified on the cross and his last words being, "Forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do."
Yeah, that is true, and it's still true today that you do not know what you're doing, so you better all just buy my book.
Oh yes, it's true, Pope Wolfgang. We really don't know what we're doing, do we?
Nein, we are all just sinners, and it is my book, Forgiveness is for Sinners, that will show you exactly all of the things that you will be liable for our judgment and then our forgiveness.
Yes, that's the fascinating part about the book, that before we conduct an act of forgiveness, we must judge someone.
Yeah, and it is according to all of these sins that are listed in the Bible. There are hundreds or thousands of different ways in which we human beings can sin, and that gives us all kinds of reasons to accuse you of things, and then we will forgive you.
And then you were talking in one of your chapters about forgiving those who perhaps can't even appreciate the act of forgiveness. Take, for instance, I love your part about family members and how family members would just take your forgiveness for granted.
Yeah, that is a particular problem in society, is that families members think that they are automatically going to be forgiven by their relatives, especially in the immediate family, by their fathers, their mothers, their sisters, brothers. They are just going to be forgiven, and so they are inclined to do it again, do whatever it was that was wrong, that had to be forgiven. They figure, I'll just be forgiven again, and so I can just do it again. And then the parents say, you have to forgive little Johnny, he just doesn't know what he's doing. And then you have to forgive him, and then he goes and he breaks another one of your toys. It's a terrible, terrible cycle of abuse that can be created with all this forgiveness, Father McShite.
Oh my goodness, that's absolutely fascinating. fascinating, Pope Wolfgang.
Yeah, and then of course little Johnny grows up and he becomes a criminal because he has learned from his family, from the forgiveness in the family there, that he will be forgiven, and he sees our soft on crime, nincompoop liberal judges in the court system, and the soft sentences, and the no, and he finds out that of course until he's 18, that minors can get away with murder, and they won't even their names don't even go in the papers there. When little Johnny realizes that this whole society is based on forgiveness, and he has a carte blanche credit card there until he's 18 to continue his life of crime.
Oh, this is fabulous. Ladies and gentlemen, we're discussing Forgiveness is for Sinners, Pope Wolfgang's new book. Oh my goodness, it's on the market.
Susie,
PopelandGiftStore.com is the only place you can buy it from for now.
we have an exclusive offer, and if you order it today,
You'll receive my other bestseller, Anger Management for Religious People. You order both books, you get the second one for free.
Oh, that's a marvelous deal. Well, let's talk a little bit more about the laws of, let's say, American society there and how they're based on forgiveness.
yeah, you see, American legal system is very much based on many of the biblical precepts that of forgiveness there. But you must understand that you have to be contrite. You have to correct your behavior, or they will come down on you very hard, even harder. The judges, they don't like to have their forgiveness taken advantage of. The parents, of course, and brothers and sisters, they're sort of powerless, and so they can offer you your forgiveness to little Johnny there, but little Johnny can just repeat his crimes against them. They can do nothing. But the judge, oh my goodness, or the juries, you have to behave yourself if he is to grant you any type of forgiveness.
Yes, of course. It's a fabulous outlook on the legal system in America. Perhaps that's why there's so much crime in America, Pope Wolfgang?
Yeah, well, what can we say? That forgiveness does result in many cases in people who just cannot appreciate it, and they go out and they do it again. Like I said, they learn it in the family at a very young age because, unfortunately, forgiveness is doled out like candy. It is not earned. And if I had my way, I have no children. I am the Pope. I was not allowed to.
No, I don't have either, but go on, Pope Wolfgang.
If I were a father, I would not be just giving out my forgiveness that easily. You would have to earn my forgiveness.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, you would have to not only improve your behavior, you would have to ask for the forgiveness of others. You would have to grovel and beg for it. I would be merciless. You would have to appreciate my forgiveness.
Well, that's fascinating. That's true. If you can't just go handing out your forgiveness like candy, can you, Pope Wolfgang?
Nine. No, look at the example of little Johnny in my book there. He becomes a juvenile delinquent nincompoop because of all the forgiveness in the family that's doled out like the candy there.
Yes, the forgiveness in the family that's doled out like candy creates a juvenile delinquent out of Johnny. Go on, Pope Wolfgang.
Yeah, and then he hits 18, and it's like a race car hitting a brick wall. Boom, he hits the brick wall, he turns 18, and then everything, all his criminal behavior becomes adult crime, and he is a felon, and he goes off to the big house, and we're not talking St. Peter's Gate.
Yes, indeed. Some of these felonious criminal young adults, they unfortunately don't survive their crimes. And then, of course, the ones that do get sent to the big house. We're talking, of course, federal penitentiaries, ladies and gentlemen, and state prisons. And
yeah. And then, once you're there, the act of forgiveness is not that easy to get. You really have to work very, very hard just to survive in those places.
yes, just to survive. Go on, Pope Wolfgang.
Yeah, and every couple of years you are up for parole, and you go before the parole board, and you beg and grovel for their forgiveness, and you try to say, I have reformed my ways, I am ready to re-enter society, and they look at your record in prison there, and then they decide to forgive you or not. And let me tell you, young people, it is usually not. And then, if you have done anything as stupid enough as to take another life and you're on death row or something, believe me, it is usually not forgiven. you will be put in the tank there, and they will take and put the needles in.
Pope Wolfgang, you don't need to be that graphic. We understand what the death penalty results in. It's not pretty. The methods of execution that they use.
No, it is not pretty, but I must tell you it is prettier than the types of executions we used to use, if you know what I mean.
Yes, indeed, such as stonings, beheadings, and of course, our dear Lord was crucified on a cross.
We understand you're the pontiff and the big kahuna, but there are standards I try to adhere to.
Yeah, okay. I won't try not to be as graphic on your show as I am at the Vatican there, but when it comes to scaring the young people straight, it is my opinion, my firm opinion, that you cannot use strong enough imagery to get the young people to listen.
No, this is true. The young people just don't seem to want to listen too much of anything. Now, Pope Wolfgang, as you know, the act of forgiveness as practiced by the penal system has, shall we say, had mixed results.
Yeah, various mixed results. That is right. Go on, Father McShite.
Yes, and the Bush administration has granted millions upon millions of dollars in what they call faith-based initiative funds, mostly to Christian groups who, many of whom are operating rehabilitation operations.
Yeah, we operate many of those rehab clinics and homes for the recently released criminals, and we are rehabilitating them. Yeah.
Pope Wolfgang, the results are truly mixed. The court would wish that our rehabilitation efforts were successful.
Yeah, but you trying to say that we don't know how to rehabilitate the criminals?
No, not at all. Now, Pope Wolfgang, hear me out. It's just that some of the criminals are not exactly rehabilitated. They end up committing more crimes, and they are sent back to prison regardless of the forgiveness that we heap upon them. Many of them are very, very good actors, Pope Wolfgang.
Yeah, they are very good, and they fool the parole board, we understand, but they will not fool the Catholic rehabilitation people.
I hate to correct you, Pope Wolfgang, but apparently they are fooling the rehabilitation people. They go to the meetings, they clean up their act for a while, but there are those who just simply cannot keep from committing more crimes.
Yeah, well, what can you say? You win some and you lose some, and we cannot stop offering forgiveness and love and rehabilitation, especially for the money that we're receiving, the millions of dollars in faith-based initiative money. That's big business. That's big bucks, you know. They can't just turn that money down, Father McShite.
No, I understand it's big business.
So yeah, we do the best we can. We house them, we feed them, we preach to them, we get them to convert over to Christianity.
But Pope Wolfgang, the American laws provide for equal treatment of anyone of any faith.
Supposing one of your criminal parolees is Jewish or God forbid Muslim.
Yeah, God forbid Muslim. We just have to convert him, won't we?
Pope Wolfgang, please. We're talking rehabilitation, not conversion.
Yeah. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, that's well then. The most we can hope for is that they behave themselves, and they get jobs, and they stay clean, and they do not recommit crimes, and that can we do. As long as we receive that faith-based initiative money and other donations from the general public and the corporate public for our efforts, that will be fine.
But Pope Wolfgang, we're already taking private donations. Are you sure we should be taking public money in the first place?
But of course they should be taking public money in the first place. What, are you crazy?
Oh, excuse me, Pope Wolfgang, excuse me.
We will try to get them to convert over Christianity. In the meantime, we'll try to get them to live the clean Christian lifestyle.
And, of course, abstinence education for these criminals so that they stop thinking about sex so much.
Yeah, the abstinence education so they stop thinking about this sex so much.
But Pope Wolfgang, abstinence education, as we've discussed before, often just backfires the more that you try to educate them about why they should not have sex. The more they think about sex, the more they go out and they have sex.
Yeah, we cannot help it the more that we teach them that it's a sin to have sex outside of marriage, the more that they want to have the sex there. It's sort of just reverse psychology. We cannot help it if it backfires. We have to teach what we have to teach according to the prescribes of our Bible there.
Yes, indeed. Well, good luck with the rehabilitation of your paroled prisoners, Pope Wolfgang, and let us just hope that they do not go back to their lives of crime.
Let us hope not, Father McShite. But thank you very much. We are doing what we can with what we have. And so, all of you out there in radio and TV land, make sure that you help to support the Catholic Church in its rehabilitation of the criminals and the drug addicts. And we always knows that we'll do the best that we can. We'll work with your courts there, and we will always treat them with respect, but understand that we are not the authorities. We cannot just lock them back up. You know, we have to let them reform themselves back into society, and we have to sort of take our chances there.
Yes, indeed. Well, once again, ladies and gentlemen, Pope Wolfgang's new book, Forgiveness is for Sinners.
Yeah. And if you order today, you will also get a copy of my other best-selling book. Well, it's a bestseller at the Vatican anyway. Anger Management for Religious People.
Oh, yes, a fabulous, fabulous book. Did you hear that? Oh, my God, what a great deal. 2 books for the price of 1. Oh, Pope Wolfgang, what a wonderful, wonderful deal.
Yeah. We really want you to read both of the books. And as you know, the Vatican is very much heavily into the publishing business. And we get special discounts from our printer.
Yes, of course you must. I'm sure that you, if you don't outright own the printing company.
Yeah, well, of course we own the printing company. What, are you crazy?
Oh, of course not. Of course not. You're the Pope. You're a wonderful businessman.
Yeah, I'm a wonderful businessman, is right. And don't you ever forget it.
No, I won't. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, we're so happy that Pope Wolfgang from the Vatican has agreed to come on our show again. Thank you, Pope Wolfgang. Thank you.
You're very welcome, Father McShite. It's wonderful to be here on Beyond God and to be the open Pope.
Oh, yes. Won't you join us again, ladies and gentlemen, for another episode?
May I take us out?
But of course, Pope Wolfgang.
Yeah, won't you join us again for another episode of Beyond God?